been to a war zone, but the massive crater and this wreckage of this plane sitting there.
These are the days you can't forget.
Okay, exit door.
And these are the images you wish you could.
And I can still recall every detail from her khaki pants, her blue shirt, to the soles of her shoes were charred.
On the day of the C-130 plane crash, rookie Evansville firefighter Larry Zuber wasn't supposed to be working. He did anyway.
I was in awe of that, especially, 5 months on the job, and just kind of wide-eyed going, wow, what, almost to the point of what have I gotten myself into, but not quite.
Not quite. In the 22 years since the crash, Zuber has worked his way to the rank of captain. He's also the president of Professional Firefighters Local 357. But in the 22 years since the crash, much has changed.
Back in the good old days, dirty gear was a badge of honor.
That was a mentality that was going on, and a lot of guys did it, but now I'm seeing on my department that people that I would have suspected would have been resistant to keeping their gear clean all the time aren't. They've seen the numbers, they've seen friends, they've seen people they know get that diagnosis.
Indianapolis Fire Captain Tim McDonald says the numbers are staggering. An unprecedented national study in its final stage suggests that firefighters are twice as likely to contract testicular cancer. They are also at a greater risk of contracting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, skin, brain, and prostate cancers. Researchers attribute it to the abundance of synthetic materials in the typical American home, materials that seep into the pores of the skin.
When we're at work in a burning structure, and we crawl in that building, in all probability, the only natural thing in that room is us.
Much like the C-130, there are days that these two firefighters will never forget.
October 19th, 2000.
They can recall every single detail of when their sky fell.
Oh man, it was like, wow. It was like this isn't, this isn't real.
And their world shook.
We had actually been on a fire run.
We were cross-training with another firehouse.
And I got a voicemail from my doctor.
One of the paramedics on the engine looked at me and she goes, "What's wrong with your neck?"
Unfortunately, that was at 11:55, and at noon, he was gone for the weekend.
He put a scope in my nose and looked around, took it out, set it on the table, and looked me in the eye and said, "You have cancer."
I was diagnosed at 47 years old with prostate cancer.
Nasopharyngeal cancer. I was diagnosed in 2000.
Zuber's treatment and recovery took 8 weeks. McDonald's took 8 months.
I don't care how tough you are, cancer's tougher.
Both men are now part of the Firefighters Cancer Support Network, which provides a mentor to talk to every cancer-stricken firefighter.
I don't think anybody signed up saying, "Yeah, I'll take the job, and I know I'm gonna get cancer, or I'm gonna get non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, or I'm gonna end up with Parkinson's, or I'm gonna have heart disease."
Some of those conversations can be found at a long, narrow table over a morning cup of
I mean,
coffee.
I sat down 6 months ago with my wife and told her, I said, they're just like, we all know the inherent risks of being a firefighter, getting hurt, getting killed, whatever, during a fire, but it's almost to the point now where it's almost, you kind of just assume that you're going to end up with some terminal disease because of the job.
They are silhouettes, and their job has its hazards. But if you ask anyone in the fire service, they'll tell you the reward is plenty worth the risk.
I wouldn't say I've come to the realization that it's part of the job. I was never upset or angry that I'm a fireman and I got prostate cancer. I still believe I got the greatest job in the world.